Yo, what's up? We back. We in this thing again. Uh Hope everybody doing all right. Think today is actually Tuesday, but I don't even know why I be telling what day it is, cause like I really don't know when I'm gonna post them. I try to be a little consistent about when I post them. Try to get some consistency down so y'all know when to expect the new videos. But my bad. But today, man, we're gonna talk about something that I've been talking to some people about this topic right here and getting some different feedbacks, mainly from the opposite sex. I ain't saying I know everything from my point of view, but I just been talking to the opposite sex, getting their point of view. So, I mean, if you can't figure it out by now, we're going to talk about dating. This topic that I have thought about for a long time, dating. I've only been trying to date for probably about a year or so now. And when I first started, it was somewhat difficult for me, cause like really I had never dated. I had never dated the way that dating is now. The way we used to interact with women years ago, unfortunately, has changed, whether we like it or not. Years ago, meeting a stranger in person was not unheard of. You could be at a grocery store, fast food restaurant, gas station, whatever the case may be. And if you had enough courage, you approach the individual, hey, how you doing? And, long as you weren't disrespectful, and as long as they weren't stuck up, it was normally a pleasant interaction. And even if they were, taken, and they still would be respectful about it. Hey, I appreciate your time. Appreciate you saying whatever you said. But unfortunately, I'm not available. Well, that was like all pre cell phone, pre smartphone era right there. And since the smartphones have come into play, things have changed quite a bit. It has sped up our lives a lot too. So when you go out and about, most of the time when you see people out walking around, be it a male or a female, they have their phone in their hand and their face is down looking at their phone. When you go to restaurants, you see people gathered around the table, everybody is on their phone. And even if saying not everybody's on their phone, in our minds, we're not in the now, we're not in the current. We're thinking about the next upcoming thing. Thinking about, where I'm about to go, what I got to do, whatever the case. And so that kind of has changed it for men as far as dating, because I've seen online people say things about men not approaching women and not asking women out. That's part of it. The flow of life has changed so much that for some of us guys around my age, I would say probably 35 and up, we have tried to approach a woman the old-fashioned way, and it wasn't well received because times have changed. And so once you have encountered that with no success, you start to switch your routine up a little bit to try to be successful. That's what it's all about, right? So to encourage women and to kind of give them a little insight to us guys, that's part of it. Truly, be honest. I know I've asked this question before, and the answer that I get is a best case scenario type answer. But I want you to truly think about yourself. You just got off work. You work 8 to 5. This is pre-corona because things are crazy right now. So, but just think, normal life, we don't know what normal is no more, but work with me, y'all. So, you get off work and you go to the grocery store and say you done went in there, you've been on the phone trying to find what you need, blah, blah, blah. You're checking out and you're walking to your car and a gentleman passed you. Hey, how are you? You'll probably speak, no lie. I mean, unless you're just a mean person. But would you really give someone the time of the day in 2020 like that? I mean, if so, dude, I mean, like, for real though, hit me in my inbox and run it with me on this, because I don't think so. I mean, like I said, I walk around and I look and I'm a people watcher. I love to watch people. And I'm just watching people. I'm just looking around, seeing how they're moving, seeing how they're functioning. And a lot of people give off this energy of, I don't want to be bothered. I only want to deal with my bubble. That's it. So when you see that energy, I mean, it take a real person with some gumption and some, I won't say courage, but like, don't care. Just like, oh, I'm about to get this. Not saying in the conquer, I guess, but anybody that's got, I would say anybody that's like a really respectful, type of individual is going like, oh, they look like they don't want to be bothered, so I'm not going to bother them. And there are some things that, and this is not I would say this is not a one-way street, what I'm about to say next. A lot of people, we confess that, we're dating and we would like to be approached, we would like to be talked to, blah, blah, blah. We have to show ourselves nice. We have to show ourselves to be friendly. We have to show ourselves to be receiving of whatever is coming our way. We need to be in a receptive mode. And we give off an energy, y'all. We are beings, and basically all we are just a bunch of molecules and atoms stuck together. Well, your mind, body, and soul all plays a part in the energy that you give off. So if you, like, a lot of people tell me I have RBF. I try to work on it, but I can't, until you start talking to me, then you start to see my face move and my facial expressions go. But for the most part, when I'm walking around, it's like, and people are like, oh, you look so mean. Why are you so mean? I'm not mean. You should smile. No, you should got my face. That's my point. We're not really in a place to be receptive because we're normally stuck in ourselves. And so women and men, if you want somebody to approach you, you have to give off that energy. I'm not saying to be thirsty and, whatever, but, make eye contact. When you make eye contact, don't just lock in. But, make eye contact, look away, come back, kind of smile. Ooh, I see you, girl. Something like that. But let's dive back into this thing. I kind of got sidetracked or whatever. So, like I was saying, that was like all pre-smartphone era, how men would approach women, so on and so forth. And things have changed since then. We have, due to Corvid, I call it Corvid. Due to Corvid, everything has went online. So let's talk about online dating. I have tried it. I won't say it's been, all bad. I've met some people. I met some cool people. Like, one of the coolest people that I met online, she's my sister now. So, like, that's my homie. That's my dog right there. I met her online, met her on Facebook, and then we linked up, and we've been rocking since that day. You know what I'm saying? So I know when I first hit the ground running with this new life of mine, I kind of shunned that mindset, because I would talk to my homies and they would be like, yeah, I was talking to this chick, whatever, and I slid in her DMs, and I was like, you slid in her DMs? Who does that? I mean, that really works? I just can't get with it. Still to this day, I just really can't get with it. But maybe that's why I'm still single, and my homie is not. So, you know what I'm saying? Maybe there's some truth to what my boy was saying, but yeah. So, you know, that's what it is. We sliding in the DMs now. All right. And so, like I said, when I first started, I was like, not really sure about this online dating thing. And I was like, why would we go there? But then as I explained earlier, things have changed. People are moving faster. It's a safety issue too about a stranger walking up to you. We are in a time of where things happen in the past are being exposed, therefore causing men to change the way that they act. Not saying that it's a bad thing, but it's changing the way that they act toward women. And so, you know, so things have moved online. I think that's one of the reasons. It's a security issue. You know, it's kind of safer. You can weed out the weirdos, sort of say. You know, then you got, like, I know some women that have, you know, more than one child. They can't really get out and move around and meet people like that. So this is an avenue that allows them to do that. And same thing for guys, you know what I'm saying? You got some single dads out there, and you know, just like the single mom can't get out, the single dad can't get out. So online dating gives them that option. And then you got people, you know, that are against it, you know, that's like, it's emotionless, it's impersonal, I'd rather have face-to-face contact, which are all valid reasons. Unfortunately, this is where we're at. I'm not saying that you have to like it. I'm not saying you have to accept it. I'm not saying you have to do it. I'm just trying to offer an insight into it. So if you were thinking about tipping your toe in the water, you'll have a little feedback about doing so. Some people also complain about that online dating makes it strictly about looks, because you see a face, you swipe left, you swipe right. So it becomes all about looks. Well, I kind of want to throw the argument out there. What's the difference? Or, you know, someone's at the bar and you see a chick or you see a guy and you like, oh, he's cute. And then you walk up to him or her, hey, how you doing? Can I buy you a drink? Or would you like to dance? That's about looks too, right? So what's the difference? We all want to be morally correct. We want to say that looks don't matter. What inside matters, looks fade, all of that is true. But I don't think, honestly speaking, that we can negate the fact that majority of us are attracted to the physical first. It's like the physical is what gets you through the door. Then once you're through the door, you interact with the inner self of the individual, and that is where the true connection is. No, we shouldn't connect solely on a physical level and leave it there. Oh my God, they're so gorgeous, they're so beautiful, I have to have them. No, it should be, oh my God, they're a great person. Granted, also they're gorgeous and they're beautiful, but what's in here is the key and what's gonna hold us together if we do go into a relationship. So just kind of, we got to open our minds up and really use these tools. It's what it's just a tool. Use the tool to the best of our capabilities to get what we want. Thankfully, everybody got different tastes. So it's like, just because they like short people and I like tall people, well, there's somebody out there for everybody. So don't take it as you won't get picked, you know. So there's somebody out there for you. And this leads me into kind of the first thing before we really jump into what dating is. Before you even contemplate dating, you need to be secure in yourself. If you've been in any kind of relationship longer than, I would say, longer than a year, then you need to go ahead and take some time off, learn who you are again, because a lot of times we are in a relationship and we kind of lose who we are because we start adapting to the other person, taking on their ways, their thought patterns. A lot of different things happen. And so when you separate from that person, you need to take a little time to yourself. Get to know you again, your likes, your dislikes, in case they had went away with the other person. So that will help you once you start dating, because you get that security. And as I keep talking about this, I'm gonna come back to this, and you'll hear what I mean and why I say you need that security of self when you're dating. Your security can't be in if you get a date. It can't be if you get a boyfriend. You are you because of who you are. You're okay with you. You know your ups, you know your downs, you know your flaws, you know your strengths. If you know that from the start, then you're on a solid foundation to when you start interacting with different people. When I started this, like I said, I talked to several of my friends, and all females, and I asked them, like, are there any questions, anything you want me to discuss, any hot topics or anything? And they had something to say. They guy had some questions, you know what I'm saying? But before I dive into that, let's kind of discuss what is dating. All right, so I think dating is only hard because we make it hard. There are a lot of single people out there, men and women, with unresolved issues. And like I said, that goes back to knowing who you are before you start this thing. Hurt from past relationships, not knowing what you want, not knowing how to communicate. Many of the questions I used to have and the questions I've been given to me can be answered by simply asking a question. Communication. But people choose to assume instead of speaking. Insecurity is crippling for many of us. So I say this, like I said before, man, I think this is a major key. I really do. Before you date anyone, learn to love you. Because think about it, if you're not okay with you, if you are still hurt, you're still dealing with some issues inside, sometimes, I think more times than not, something can happen in this dating realm that you're about to try to get into, and it may not have nothing to do with you, but because of your own issues, you'll take it on as a personal hit when it's not really nothing about you. Whereas if you secure in self, then you'll know this ain't got nothing to do with me. That's an issue that they're dealing with. When we have to understand, just because somebody don't want to date us, that doesn't mean anything about us. That doesn't mean we're any less or any lower than them or anything. That's just their decision for whatever it is. I mean, just like many states have labor laws and they have at-will employment, meaning that they can hire you and then they can fire you for whatever reason, as long as it's not discrimination. And dating is kind of the same way. I mean, there's no set reason why someone should stay with you, and there's no certain reason, for them to not want to continue to date you. It's all up to them. So if you are secure in who you are, you're less likely to be emotionally affected by people, not talking to you or whatever the case may be. You won't take it as a personal hit. And another thing we have to remember, man, we attract who we are mentally and emotionally. So wherever you're at in life, in your mental, you know what I'm saying, your mental growth and your spiritual growth and those things like that, that's who you're going to attract. Like I say, we're bodies of energy. And so you're going to pull people into your life that match up to you. So if you've been pulling in some foul individuals, it might be time for you to sit back and do a little research in yourself to get yourself where you need to be. We got to take responsibility for our lives and not constantly think that it's other people. A lot of times it's us, what we're doing. I mean, God gives us the Holy Spirit and discernment and his word and his scriptures. When we read that should mirror back to us our flaws and our strengths, where we need work at and where we're doing good at. But if you're not in that book like that, then you're going to function in this life and move around in your feelings. Let's get a baseline. Let's get a mutual understanding. What is dating? Well, it's just that. It's to set a date, set a time to meet somebody, to see them, to get to know about them. That's it. I think anything past that is where things get hazy and feelings get hurt. Society says date more than one person. That's a personal preference. Is that okay? Like I said, yes and no. If both of you know that you are both dating other people, then cool. If not, then probably not. Like I said, if you want to know something, ask. Communication is going to be the key in this thing. Don't assume. Don't try to read them. If you want to know something, open up your mouth and ask. The benefit of asking is it lowers, it stops all the, the guessing. And hopefully, I think that it will limit the emotional pain that could possibly be given out by assuming. Granted, you can only control your own emotions, but if you're authentic and upfront, then it would help that other person deal with whatever emotions that they have coming up. Communication is going to be major, like I said, man. You got to ask questions. Y'all going to get tired of me saying that because that's it. You can't assume. You have to ask questions. And it's not saying that you're insecure. That's not what it is. It's that you don't know them. You don't know them. You don't know nothing about them. They may be sitting over there, like I said with me. I got RBF, so I might be sitting over there with RBF. And then whoever I'm with is like, oh, he must be angry. That's their assumption. They ain't asked me. Hey, they asked me, what's wrong with you? Nothing. I'm just thinking. Oh, okay. What you thinking about? Boom. We rolling into something. Now their insecurity is at rest, all because they asked a question. They're not in their head thinking, oh, he's mad at me. Oh, he don't want to be here. Blah, blah, blah. You got to ask them questions, yo. With this being 2020, unhealthy people have mastered manipulation. I've always heard actions speak louder than words. I sort of disagree. I was told a story where one person said that they didn't want a relationship, yet their actions said otherwise. So this was confusing for the other person. So rather than address the situation, saying something like, hey, your actions and your words aren't really lining up. They're conflicting and they're confusing me. Can you please explain to me what's going on? That person instead chose to assume. I gotta stop doing the air quotes for real. It's getting lame. They chose to assume. And I keep looking down. I had to write this out. This is a lot. So I keep looking down. I'm not no news reporter. And I can't look down and look up real good. So yeah, you can see me look down a lot. Bear with me. The other person assumed that because of their actions, even though the one person said, hey, I don't want to be in a relationship, but yet they were doing things and to that other person mimic being in a relationship. So instead of asking them like, hey, I thought you want to be in a relationship. Why are you doing this? This is confusing me. They just went ahead and assumed like, oh, we must be taking that next step. Well, lo and behold, no, they were not taking the next step and their feelings were crushed. And FYI, I got this story right here off of a video on Instagram. The guy talked about it and it was like, dang, is that, what I'm saying? He kind of debunked, for me, he kind of debunked that whole actions speak louder than words things. I mean, it does, but it doesn't. But like I said, if they're saying one thing and they're doing something different, don't just assume it. Speak up. Be it, that they're doing, they say, hey, I'm going to do this positive thing. Then they turn around and do a negative thing. Speak up. If they say, no, I'm not going to do this, but then they do it, and you're like, what's the deal? Speak up. That's it. Ask questions, y'all. And I understand that, due to past issues, fears, insecurities, all of that, there's a fear in confronting somebody. But it's not really a confrontation if you do it in love, if you do it with respect. I'm not saying run up on somebody and check them like, oh, you said boom, boom. No, I ain't talking about all that. I mean, like, genuine care for you and for them. hey man, I mean, like, babe, you said blah blah blah. This is confusing to me. Can you help me make sense of this? I mean, that's tone, all of that matters. I had to learn that the hard way. And most of the time, the reason that people are afraid to speak up is from past insecurities, hurts, scared they're gonna run the person off. It goes back to what I was saying in the beginning, y'all. You got to be secure. You got to know who you are. You got to be, you know what I'm saying, emotionally healthy in order to get into this thing. Because if you're not, you're going to do yourself more damage and you're going to do damage to the other person. And if you can't bring up a concern with somebody, this is a concern. You know, hey, your actions aren't matching your... That's a legit concern. If you can't bring up a concern with someone and feel comfortable doing so, or, you know, they won't allow you to feel comfortable doing so, then that's not the person for you. Plain and simple. They haven't matured enough to be the person that you need to be successful in a relationship. That's a red flag number one right there. So once you have been on a few dates and would like to explore a full-blown one-on-one relationship with somebody, what do? Communicate. This is not a gender-driven role. As I said, if you cannot bring a concern to somebody, they are not the person for you. And taking that next step to one-on-one is a legit concern. Is there a time limit on when you should enter into a one-on-one relationship? Nah, I don't think so. I ain't saying like you meet the person on a Friday night and Monday morning you in there, you know, you texting them talking about, can we be together forever, whatever. I'm not saying that, but you know, give it some time, have some conversations, get to know some things about this individual before you go ahead and have that conversation. I mean, that's just, like I said, God gives us wisdom and discernment. It's free. Use it. You know, this is not marriage. You're not about to take a step into marriage. You're only trying to get to know this person a little more. You're basically saying, I want to focus on you and learn you more. As when you are going on dates with multiple people, you cannot offer your full attention to just one person. Your mind is kind of scatterbrained. And Lord knows, I wish I knew this years ago, because trying to date more than one person is a headache. So basically, that's dating one-on-one. Now, unfortunately, depends on who you are. And, you know, we've been adults about this thing. Yeah, we believers, we Christians, but, you know, a lot of us, we got kids out of wedlock. And, you know, we lost our virginity before we got married. None of us perfect, you know. So we trying our best to do this thing right, you know. And so if you throw sex into the mix, just know it's going to make things a little funky. You can communicate all you want to, but sex tends to bring out emotions that people didn't even know they had. And so just know that if you throw sex into the mix, things are going to get funky. Do what you want to do. You're a grown man, you're a grown woman. Because the thing about sex, it's kind of like if you're just dating, say you're dating multiple people and just so happen you go out on a date with one person and you do have sex with that person, you or them could automatically assume that you've taken the next step in exclusivity. And that might not be the case for the other one. So, or you never know. So that's why I say you throw sex into the mix, it's going to get kind of funky. You can communicate it. If y'all think y'all adult enough to have that conversation, hey, I am not advocating for it. I ain't saying you should. I ain't saying you shouldn't. All I'm saying is communicate, be wise, use discernment. All right, when I started this whole thing off some 30 minutes ago, I said I had some friends that had some questions, so let's hop to them. First question. What do you do different when you are really interested in someone that you recently started talking to versus someone you are just casually interested in? Communicate. Trying to send signals is not, that ain't gonna work, because they just might miss your signals. Sending signals has to be done between people that have a know of each other. So I don't suggest sending signals. Just go ahead and open your mouth and talk. Tell them, hey, I like you. I would like to get to know you more. I mean, they say yes, great. They say no, that ain't the person for you. On to the next one. And I say that like it's so easy to do. I know it's not. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you meet somebody like, oh man, they cool. They this, they that, blah, blah, blah. And they just not really feeling you. I mean, like I said, that goes back to that beginning. You gotta be secure right here. You gotta know you're number one. Let's go to question number 2. Why continue to talk to someone in a relationship or flirty type of way if you really have no interest in pursuing a future with them? Why not just say up front that you see them as a friend or a friend with benefit? Well, let's see. There's a lot right here. Let's see. My first response is people do to us what we allow them to do. So if you're in this situation, it's likely because there were no boundaries established in the beginning, meaning you did not talk about what you wanted and what they wanted, what you expected and what they expected from each other. And like I said, in order to establish boundaries, what do you have to do? Communicate. We can't assume anybody knows anything about us. They don't know us. That's what we're doing. We're trying to get to know each other. So to bluntly answer, a person would do this because you let them. Why would someone want to do this? I can't honestly answer that. I mean, there's so many different scenarios and reasons. That's a case-by-case type thing. Some see flirting as fun, which it is when boundaries are established. So why not just say they see you as a friend or a friend with benefit? I mean, they could be immature, a player, or they could really like you but don't know how to communicate it. They're scared to lose you, just as in someone in their life. I mean, the stuff we're talking about right now is not taught to us in school. And most of what we learn about dating has brought us pain and misery. All right, question 3. Would you like to know upfront if a person is talking to others? Would you be willing to be honest if asked the same? I sort of addressed this when explaining the whole dating process. When you first meet and start getting to know each other, gathering a mutual understanding of what is taking place is of utmost importance. Like, hey, what are you looking for? Oh, I'm just seeing what's out there. Or, well, I'm actively looking for a relationship. And then you can reply back like, oh, okay, what does actively looking for a relationship look like to you? For me, dating means, you can go ahead and explain it to them, and they can flip back and explain it to you. You gather the understanding right there. So once again, communicate, ask questions. Like I said, y'all don't get tired of me saying a word right there. Question number 4. How long should it take to know if you have romantic feelings for someone? That's a case-by-case scenario. I can't tell you how to feel and when you should feel or what you should feel. I will say this. Don't make a decision based on how you feel. Meaning, if you're dating someone and you're really trying to decide if this is the person, if you really want to be exclusive with this individual, don't say yes solely on the butterflies in your stomach you get when you see them, but base it on facts and biblical truths. You should know your wants, your needs, your desires. You should know your deal breakers. You should know your preferences. You should know all of that. pull them out. Like, you should, like, when I say you should know all that, no, you should have that written down, like, for real. Because a lot of times you can meet somebody and you could be so wooed, you lose track of what you are really looking for because they have this one attribute that's like overshadowing so many different things. And you just might miss something key that either you don't want in somebody. And so that's why I say, have you a checklist, you know, Santa Claus, making a list, checking it twice. There's nothing wrong with that. Some might say that's extreme, but as we know, trying to pick a mate based on how we feel has served us nothing but L's. So it's time for us to do something different. And I'm not saying that this is the only way to do it, but this is just another option. Question number 5. Do you overthink about calling someone or not? I mean, yeah, I do. That's my own insecurities rearing up, and I had to check myself a lot of times on that. Because in the beginning, as a guy, you're not really aware of a girl's wants or needs. And society has filled our heads with do's and don'ts. Don't text then, don't text then, don't text now, text later, blah, blah, blah. As I record this, I say to all of y'all and myself, man, just do you. I mean, be the person you would be if you were to be in the relationship with that person. What's the harm in wanting to tell someone, good morning, how's your day? You know, something like that. Because how you doing? You cross my mind, just checking on you, blah, blah, blah. Now, of course, I'm not saying to be overbearing and overwhelming with it, but, you know, I honestly don't see nothing wrong with that. But if they have a problem with it, that's a sign that there are some unresolved issues stopping them from receiving love and affection. And so maybe that person isn't the person for you because they have some inner work that they need to do. Question number 6. Does it annoy you to get texts from women you are getting to know? Me personally, no. And I mean, I just explained in the previous question, you know, why and why not. You know, I don't have a problem with it. And if I run across somebody that does have a problem with me, just text them, hey, good morning, or how are you doing today? And they got kickback from it. That ain't the person for me. All right. Question 7. Would you initiate the conversation about being exclusive or rather the other person? I answered this earlier as well. It's not a gender-specific role. If I'm ready to take her off the market, I'm not going to wait for her to say something to me. We all want the same thing. A lot of us are allowing our pride and tradition from getting what we want. Question number 8. FYI, there's 10 of them, so we only got 3 more to go. That's 2 plus this one. My math ain't that good, but it's good enough. Okay. Question number 8. Why do guys say they want a long-term relationship or have it posted on their profile, but when asked about it, they say otherwise? Well, one, on dating site, it's a numbers game. So if you click all the boxes asking you, what are you looking for? You know, I'm looking for a long-term relationship, short-term relationship. I don't know what I want. Friends with benefits. That opens me up to more interaction with more people rather than if I just check one box. So it's not right, not fair, but that's a possibility of why you will run into that situation. Another reason is sometimes they may lose interest for whatever reason. As I said, they have that right. Now, in a perfect world, they would tell you, hey, I'm not interested no more. And hopefully they would tell you why. Because the thing about it is, man, if we can really be honest and authentic with each other, we actually help each other grow. Because if I run into someone and they have a certain issue or something that I'm not wanting in my life, whatever, and they were like, okay, hey, what is it about me that kind of pushed you away? I mean, I would hope that if they ask that question, they have done the self-work to receive my truth and not be offended by it. You know, I could say whatever it is, and they like, okay, I respect that and I thank you. All right, question number 9. What does it mean when a guy says a girl has all of these good qualities, but is not interested in a relationship? It means just that. For whatever reason, he is not ready to enter into a relationship with you. This is why I'm adamant about doing the self-work to know who you are and whose you are. So when situations like this happen, the devil does not use it as an opportunity to get in your head and have you second guessing yourself. If you must know why they aren't interested, as I already said, ask them, but you got to be prepared for the answer. My 10th and final question is actually a pretty good one. I don't really think that it's a dating question, but I think it might help some of y'all. So here goes. It is said you become like the people you surround yourself by. How can you find a group of confident people who have been in a relationship or are in a successful relationship? People who don't second guess themselves. People who take ownership. I'm sorry. I read that wrong. People who don't take ownership of other people's feelings, wondering what they did wrong or what's wrong with them. All right. What I hear them saying is, how do I find people who are not people pleasers? Well, one way is to listen to people when they talk. Once again, ask questions. Asking questions can really do a good thing for us in this life. I mean, think about it, man. When we were kids, what did our parents tell us? No, in school, they told us, the only dumb question is a question not asked. If you have a question, something you don't know, or something you want to know, ask. There's nothing wrong with that. And then, ultimately, like real talk, the first thing you should do is pray, because battling the demons of insecurity and people pleasing, that's not what God wants for us. Will he use it to get us to where he wants us to be? Of course. But if you pray a sincere prayer for God to surround you with people that will help build you up, love on you, and people that are walking in the same direction that you're walking, he gonna give it to you. And do things like go bowling, go play putt-putt golf, join small groups in church. There's a website called meetup.com. That's a cool way to meet people. Not only just dating, but just meet people. They got all kind of groups on there. I mean, pretty much any hobby that you can think of, that's it. I mean, they say, the saying is to keep your eyes focused on God and run toward God. And if somebody comes alongside of you along the way, stop and say hi. And then if the conversation's good, they might continue to run with you. If they don't, that's fine. Keep running, because I guarantee you somebody else is going to pull up. Whew, boy. So, enough of the questions. Let me get to some dating tips, and so I can wrap this thing up. These are some things that I have seen in my little time of online dating and whatever. So I see many of what I call online dating no-nos. And I've discussed this with other people too. So it's not just me. One, in the about section where you describe yourself, be brief. A few characteristics about yourself is cool. Don't give a full list. Leave something, so you can talk on later. Plus, to be honest, most people don't even read it. They try to scan for keywords and scroll on down. But I will say, whatever you deem to be most important, put that at the top. Because as I say, people scan. They scan probably that first sentence and then from there. So if it's something in there that's important to you, put that at the top. Number 2, don't say something like, I know my worth, or I know I'm a good woman, blah, blah, blah. Because truthfully, who you trying to convince? Them or yourself? More so yourself. Because if you're a good person, or if you know your worth, then that's what it is. You know it. You don't have to prove it to anybody. It will be told by your actions or not. So leave that out. Number 3, this really should have been number 1. No filters. None. Nada. Zilch. Zero. I don't know how to say it in any other languages, but no, don't use filters, men or women. Puppy ears, hearts around the head, all of that. Because like, Snapchat filters are good. They would have the slightest wrinkle looking so smooth, and some of us got crow's feet. I got quite a few, so if I go ahead, I use a filter, I'm sitting there looking like I'm, 22 years old. Then when I pop up on the scene and my beard done growing out, you're like, who are you? Yeah, so nah, no filters, dog. I mean, be open, be honest, be authentic. I mean, ain't no need to be shucking and jiving each other. I mean, if you wear makeup, cool, that's what you do. But don't do the filter thing. Don't do the filter thing. Number 4, don't put any pics of your kids on your profile. Your dating profile is not a place for kids. Too many weirdos, too many pervs out there. This is 2020. People are foul. I mean, they got ulterior motives, all kinds of crap, man. I mean, for real. Keep your children safe. Say that for once you get to know the person, then you introduce, hey, these are my kids, blah, 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 boom. Don't put it on your profile. No kids on your profile. Nope, no. Number 5, limit the pics of your pets. 1 is good enough. Just to let somebody know, hey, I have a dog. Hey, I have a cat. I got a turtle, goldfish, alligator, crocodile, whatever. But picture after picture of you and your dog licking you in your face. I mean, truthfully though, the ones that had dogs looking in the face, I appreciate that picture because I swipe. I don't want to be kissing you after your dog that had his tongue all in your mouth. Nasty. Number 6, have 1 headshot, have 1 full body shot. That is required. That's it. 7, no pics of your friends and your family. They might look better than you. I have actually known of someone that saw someone's profile, the homegirl, their cousin, whoever it was else in the picture looked better, so they swiped. Then when they matched, they was like, hey, nice to meet you, but I was just really wondering if your homegirl is single or the other chick in the picture is single. So your profile is about you. It ain't about nobody else. So save the family photos, save the friends of the homegirls, don't do that. Because then also I see people, the first profile picture be 2 people, and then the next profile picture be 2 people, then another picture be 4 people. Dude, I don't have time to try to go through there and match your face. So 1 picture, 1 person. I mean, the profile is yours. It's not your family's. It's not your homies. 8, I've heard a lot of females complain about this one. Bros, guys, put a damn shirt on. Nobody want to see all that right there, right now. Save that for the bedroom. Surprise them. You know what I'm saying? They ain't even got to know you got all that. Surprise them. Boom. Ooh, girl. Yeah, save it. Nobody want to see all that. Cover that up. And number 9, for ladies, same thing though. Cover that up. I mean, you advertising. If you advertising, then certain individuals gonna want to buy it. If you don't want certain individuals trying to buy it, don't advertise it. Plain and simple. I mean, I know sometimes you can't help. You're shapely. It is what it is. But you ain't got to show all that skin. You don't. I mean, you ain't got to have the angle right there with all, y'all know the angle. Y'all know the angle. All that just showing right there. And then, out there on the beach, come on, man. And then get mad when they get a certain individual in their inbox. I mean, we got to be aware of what we're doing. I mean, we got to take responsibility of our actions. Every action has a reaction. So unfortunately, this is America. That is the norm. I won't say it's the norm, but that's what happens. If you advertising, you're gonna get a certain kind of, individual. Okay, this is a personal thing right here for me. I talked to my homie about this earlier today, and I've also talked to another friend about it, and they told me that it's a gift. Um, I'm still kind of baffled, but this is it. I personally want to know what's the deal with the lack of communication skills. Not communication, conversation skills. And apparently, it's guys too, from what I hear. So, people, it's a dating site. The point is to talk once you match. The point is to get to know someone. Don't reply with one word responses that do not reciprocate curiosity. Meaning, ask questions and be original. If I ask you, where do you work at? And you say, the grocery store. I mean, yeah, you kind of spit it back, but maybe put a spin on it, or ask a different question, then come back to it. I mean, come on, man. That shows personality. You know what I'm saying? But if you just keep dropping the one-liners, yeah, nah, this or that, but spitting nothing back, man, you're probably not gonna stay matched up. They're probably gonna unmatch. Another personal thing, what I found to be a little strange is the transition from messaging on the dating app to either text or whatever, because the thing is, some people deem certain things to be more personal. Like, of course, the phone number is like the utmost of all personal items. But some people, like me personally, my Facebook is personal. I say that for my friends. Even though a lot of my posts are public, I still have the option to go with my friends and just let my friends see what I post. Whereas in my Instagram and my Snapchat, they're wide open to the public. Well, actually, my Snapchat's not. But if people want to communicate with me, because I don't like the UI and a lot of dating apps, I'll use my Snapchat to communicate with people that I meet at times. So you kind of be aware of that when you try to make that transition. Hey, what do you feel comfortable using? Do you feel comfortable exchanging phone numbers? Just be respectful. Last and certainly not least, always be aware you view life through your past. We assume a person would or wouldn't do something based on what we have seen in our life. We must stop that. That's why in dating, it's so important to communicate, ask questions, and set boundaries and discuss expectations. And hold people accountable to their word. Because if we're viewing our life through our past, then a person might do something, and in the past, what we've experienced, it means this. But in all honesty, to them, it means something totally different. You will never know unless you communicate that. We all have different tastes. Some of us know what it is, some of us don't. That's what dating is. Dating is ultimately learning who you are, learning what you like and what you don't like. So yes, you will lose interest in some people, and some people will lose interest in you. And that's okay. They don't make you. God says who you are. Remember, love God with all your mind, heart, and soul. Love others as you love yourself. And if you don't love yourself, you can't love others. Nor will you allow others to love you. So I hope I said something in this long video that really helped some of y'all gain some understanding about this dating game. It's really not that hard. Just, what I'm saying, if you want to, like, if you see somebody and you have an interest in them, say it. Make eye contact, if that's it, man. It's just communication. That's all, bro. We got to put the insecurities down. We got to, gain some self-esteem. I ain't saying, be big head or nothing like that, but got to jump out there. We got to get in the water and swim. I mean, it's a whole bunch of fish in the sea. Not every fish is for us. So you going to go out there, you're going to fish, you're going to pull one in, and it's not gonna be it, cool, throw it back. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? It don't mean that they're any less. It don't mean that you're any less or any bigger, anything like that. I mean, I'm thankful to finally have this understanding, you know, because if I would have kept going on the path that I was going on, man, my little feelings would stay hurt. But, you know, we all in this thing, you know. So, yeah, your boy single. Holla at your boy. But like I always say, man, if it blessed you, share it. Like everybody, like, subscribe. If you my Facebook friend, yeah, you see me on Facebook. I don't really post on my IG no more. And my Snapchat, I'm just always acting a fool. So yeah, just stay tuned in to YouTube. Also, me and my homeboy Josh, we started our separate, which it'll be on here also until we really catch it rolling. Probably go ahead and start our own YouTube channel. But right now, I'm just gonna add it into mine. But we got a podcast also going with that called The Mechanic and the Driver, and it's kind of the same concept. But the thing about doing it with Josh is he brings a different perspective to the game. So, and then a lot of times when me and him chop it up, it's like really funny. So y'all might want to tune into that if y'all like to laugh. And of course, I'm a Christian, he a Christian, so of course it's gonna be biblical based. You know what I'm saying? Everything we do, God first. I love y'all. We still in this corona thing. Wear your mask. Even if the government hasn't made it a mandate, the thing about wearing the mask is it's a way for you to care about others, flat out. That's it. It don't mean that you are, you know, overreacting. You know, it don't mean that you living in fear or nothing like that. It's just a way that you are aware that you might be asymptomatic, and you wearing a face covering will help slow. It won't stop, but it will help slow the spread of COVID-19. So, you know what I'm saying? Just take that into consideration. Hope everybody out there mask up. And man, that's really gonna change the dating game too, for real. Like, I went to the store the other day and chick had on a mask, and I was like, I had seen her before, you know what I'm saying? So but I was looking at her. It really makes the eyes pop, y'all. It's crazy. I was like, oh, she got pretty eyes. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Stay tuned in. We're gonna keep it popping, keep it rolling. I appreciate my friends. Appreciate y'all. Couldn't have did this one without y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all dropped the questions, gave me something to talk about. Cause coming up with content is it's pretty hard. Kudos to all of those people that's got YouTube channels that's always dropping content week after week, sometimes day after day. That's a real creative mind. I'm stretching. Oh, I'm stretching. So if y'all got something y'all want to hear me talk on, or hear me and my boy Josh talk on, like I say, you can hear me on my Facebook. I put my email down in there. Don't want to put my email in there. Nah, I'm not putting my email in there. I'll drop my IG down in there, and you can message me on IG. You can follow me on IG. Like I said, I don't post a lot. Pretty much everything I post on IG is gonna be, you know what I'm saying, Christian-based videos, music, whatever. I haven't posted in a long time. I do post on my story though, so you can catch me acting a nut up in there. Don't be surprised. Like I said, I'm doing the best I can on this Christian walk, so I have my moments. But man, I'm out. I'm rambling. Love y'all. Peace.